Anyway, I was going to do right here, so we're continuing on. This is a two-parter, or at least it should be 2 chapters or segments, whatever you want to call them. So expected to be maybe long. So last time we figured out that Chris was the son of Aaron, Morris ran away, and that Chris will now marry Juliet. Oh, yeah, and also we found out that it might be a kid, but hopefully it's not. Again, if it is, I'll be salty, for sure. What is it? Do you have any idea what time it is? I was really having a good dream, you know. You big dummy, you always overreact. Since I'm up now, why did you think I was going to die? Now I see, you think someone here wants to put an end to the engagement. I don't think there's anything to worry about though. I mean, if our families don't join forces, either we go down fighting each other, or we end up falling victim to an outside power. Everyone knows that. That's why even Morris is going along with this. I don't think so anyway. I mean, what would be the point? But we can't rest easy just yet. We should go check on Chris too, just to be sure. Nope, morning. Where are you two off so early? If you're here for breakfast, I'm afraid it isn't ready. We just wanted to check in on Chris. Man, what a lucky guy he is. I wish I had a beautiful girl to wake me up. Anyway, that works out nicely. I was just wondering when he would be getting up. I think this was his room, right? Good morning, Chris. Are you up yet? No answer. Is Chris not a morning person or something? That shouldn't be an issue. He's been trained to wake up if he hears anything suspicious. That's strange. Then why would you... Oh, wait. Why is his door unlocked? I'm sorry I laughed. Something about it was like, well, I guess I was wrong. And you put more too, for Morris, I guess. But that's just another red herring. So, I mean, who could have killed him though? And this time there's a lot more blood than the last time. Now this is what I wanted. I wanted more people to die anyway. I just want to logically know who could have killed Chris. It doesn't really make too much sense for Aaron, nor Adamska. Why would any of the wives really do it? But I don't know. We'll see. Because wait, now Aaron has no more potential people. Because all he has left is Lori, right? Anyway, we'll see. Huh? Chris? No, he can't be. He's definitely gone. His body's already cold. I guess he died sometime around midnight. I'll go get Dr. Hawthorne. I want to get his autopsy over and done before everyone else shows up. Alright, I just did a quick autopsy. I didn't see any major injuries, but I did find 3 small wounds. That red spot on the top of his right hand is a puncture wound. Like he made. That's definitely a typo, isn't it? I was like reading it, I'm like, am I stupid? I mean, I am, but likely made by a needle. If the killer used poison, like wolfsbane, it would only take a single prick to paralyze the victim. Alright, that makes some sense. The other red spot on his hand is likely a second needle prick, just to be certain he didn't survive. At this point, I can't say what kind of poison they used, but if only 2 small wounds were enough to kill him, it must have been some very strong stuff. I don't believe it's actually directly connected to his death. Take a look at the tip of his left index finger. It looks like there's a little blood on it. Where did this injury come from? It would seem he bit his finger, so as to use his own blood to write the message on the floor. And that's what it looks like to me too, but I don't know what it could mean. Mort? Well, mort is French for death, but I can't imagine he would write that while he was dying. More. I wonder. What is it, Wu? Nothing, just thinking out loud. Chris can hold his own in a fight. He never let someone else get the better of him that easily. That assumes this was a fight. What if he merely shook the killer's hand? If our culprit had palmed a poison needle or the like, a simple handshake could be fatal. Wu, it might be kind of rude of me to ask this, but what is it? Go ahead, I won't be offended. Well, whoever killed Chris must have known about his combat experience. Someone he knew well enough not to let his guard down. On top of that, someone experienced enough to kill cleanly and quietly. You're the first one who comes to mind. Now I got you. You're not wrong. Well, let me show you something else then. Well, how did you do that? It's an illusion. All I'm doing is moving fast enough that you can see the after image. I have to move this fast if I'm going to see to everyone's needs. It's true, there's pretty much nothing I can't do. I shouldn't say this in front of the guests, but if I wanted to, I could kill everyone here in about the time it took for you to snap your fingers. Oh my. But don't worry, I won't actually do that. I gave up the assassination business a long time ago, but I'll certainly say this much, I didn't kill Chris. If I was going to kill him, I wouldn't have done it like this. Giving him time to write a message is an amateur move. Good point, I believe you, Wu. Thanks, Miss Juliet. Huh? It looks like Chris left another message. Take a look at this. A pocket watch? It seems pretty old. It is. Sis gave it to him. He polished it every day. I always make sure it was in good working order too. It stopped at 11:25 though, and the glass is cracked. It looks like it's broken. Right, Chris always took good care of it. There's no chance of it just having randomly broken last night, especially since it was built to last. I bet if anything, he broke it himself on purpose. Exactly. So that would mean he met with the killer in his room a little before 11:25 last night. If the killer had killed him somewhere else and moved his body here, I'd have noticed that happening. That would make everyone's alibis important to figuring out who the killer is. For my part, I was playing poker with Aaron, Adiska, and An last night. We started around 10 o'clock and kept going until 3 in the morning. We did take a few short breaks, but nobody left the room for long. I was in my room with my sister around that time last night. Does that count, even though we're family? Counts in my book. Oh, come to think of it, you've got an alibi for that time too, huh? You were already completely passed out. Oh, that's easy. Our poker game is the room next to yours. Hard not to hear you snoring. But I'll leave that alibi stuff up to you. You're the detective now. All the things I can do, none is going to help Chris now. Please, you gotta find whoever did this to him. Good choice of words. I have every confidence in you. By the time we got to Chris's room, it was already too late. Oh no, poor Chris. Where's An? I don't see her anywhere. She's carrying Chris down to the basement, which is serving as our morgue for now. She said she wanted to at least do that much for him. I see, then Chris is really dead. And just when I named him my successor. What terrible timing. Why are you looking at me like that? You think I'm the one who killed him? Well, I didn't. I was putting Lori to bed. You have to believe me. Please calm down, Miss Dorothy. As it turns out, Chris managed to write down more right before he died. He didn't get to finish his message, but it seems most likely as a clue to who killed him. There is someone whose name starts with Moore here, isn't there? Moore? You mean Morris? I don't see how it could be anyone else. So you're saying Morris killed Chris, is that it? I'm just saying it's possible. He might still be hiding out somewhere. I hope I haven't offended you. Not at all. This is the best news I've heard since we left on this trip. As long as Morris is alive, the Goldie family still has a bright future. Are you listening, Morris? Come out now and I'll hire the best lawyer money can buy. Honey, he's taking it pretty hard, isn't he? At any rate, we're going to start running things around here to ensure there aren't any more mistakes. That doesn't mean we're going to lock you up in your rooms or anything like that. But if you want to stay alive, I'm going to ask that you follow our instructions as much as possible. Hey, please don't die, okay? Oh, hello. I want to go out for a little swim, since we came all this way to a lovely resort after all. I doubt we will approve though, so I don't know what I'm going to do. Miss Violet, well that's a strange question. No, Mother turned in early last night. I think it must have been around 10, maybe 11. I'm sorry, I don't remember the exact time. Oh, I just had a lovely idea. We could all go for a swim, that way we can be able to keep an eye on all of us. I'll go suggest it to him right now. I hope you can join us. I'm glad we could come to an agreement. Likewise, I too would be tremendously grateful for such a resolution. Thank you for coming to me with this. Ah, it's you. Thank you for being such a good friend to Juliet. You must think I'm a terrible excuse for a father, offering my own daughter in a political marriage. It's okay, it's the truth. While we're on the subject, I'll admit I'm a terrible leader too. I'm a coward. But it's because I'm a coward that I can tell which way the wind is blowing. I saw that if I didn't do something, the Violet family would have no future whatsoever. If we don't suffer heavy losses from a war with the Goldie family, we will only end up falling prey to a powerful enemy from somewhere else. That's why I came to the conclusion an alliance with the Goldie family was our only option for survival. I never had anything going for me besides my family name. I was never cut out for this world. I was just lucky enough to receive an offer of an arranged marriage with the Violet family's daughter. I was intoxicated by her beauty at first sight, and it wasn't long until we were married. I thought there was nothing I couldn't do as long as it would make her happy. That was what let me do my best at a job that was frankly beyond me for the next 20 years. But now I'm the head of the whole Violet family. I have to think about what's best for my children and my subordinates. My wife is against the idea, but for once I'm against her wishes, especially since Juliet agreed to go ahead with it. You really do know her well. I'm actually relieved. It turns out Dorothy came to me with an interesting proposition. If Aaron agrees to it, it should solve all our problems. But then there isn't much point in telling you about it. Just forget I said anything. The point is, if all goes well, Juliet will be free. And I'm sure you want that just as much as I do. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to think of a way to convince Aaron. There you are, where have you been all this time? No, okay, well you shouldn't have done that alone. I'll go with you. Miss Juliet does a convincing job of playing stoic, but she was really worried about you. You don't need to tell him that. Oh, I just remembered. Miss Eva suggested we all go to the beach after we had lunch. Well, I guess we could use a breather, given the circumstances. I'll go ahead and whip something up for lunch now. Hey, you're looking kinda drowsy. Go ahead and catch some Z's if you want. I'll make sure to wake you up. Feel free to stretch out on the sofa over there. Chris 2. That's awful. Oh, it's nothing important. I was just thinking about what these alibis could mean. Oh, do stop beating around the bush, would you? If you don't know how to answer, just say so. Well, at least I finally found a way to get you to pipe down. By the way, is this woo person foreign? Come to think of it, I think one of the commandments in Nox's Decalogue was, no mysterious foreigner must figure into the story. Does that have anything to do with this case? This may be hard for you two to believe, having grown up in this modern era. But during the golden age of the detective era, some people believe quite fervently that foreigners held mysterious powers. I have no way of knowing what Nox may have truly meant by that maxim, but thinking conventionally, I would think it means not to rely on unknown abilities, foreign or otherwise, to connect your story dots. In that sense, we can take Wu at his word and strike him from the list of suspects. I see a mystery that relies on bizarre gimmicks isn't really one anyone will enjoy solving, isn't it? At any rate, I like to focus on Chris's dying message. You mean the more he rolled in his own blood? Indeed, I can certainly understand wishing to leave behind an accusation of one's killer once death is certain. But we do not have enough information to be certain that Morris is what he meant to write. Wait, it could have been upside down too, right? W-O... maybe not. Those only 6 letters, that may have been too much to write while he was at death's door. I guess so. If I know I was a murder victim, I might try to write some sort of hint to give the killer's identity. Does that mean you already figured out what the message really means, Holmes? I have a hypothesis, but there would be little point in voicing it now. Would that be because you lack confidence in it, or because what you suspect still lies ahead? Interpret that as you like. It would seem once again we're out of time. Well, one last word of advice. Now that Chris is dead, the game is well and truly afoot. Do not let your guard down.
ただ目で見ているだけではいけないよ。
It's about time you woke up. You missed lunch entirely, you know that? This is the beach, obviously. You look so peaceful, I didn't want to wake you, so I carried you here. I've never seen anyone sleep so soundly under a beach umbrella before. Must be nice. Anyway, you might have missed lunch, but I kept some leftover sandwiches if you like. Relax? Well, yeah, there's that. But it's also a good way to stay safe. Nowhere to hide, so you can see a threat coming from a mile away. And the warm weather ensures people dress lightly, which makes it real easy to tell if they're carrying a weapon. Of course, you can still probably hide a tiny poison-tipped needle. I didn't expect those two to be the only ones to change into swimsuits. Guess everyone else is still keeping their guard up. If you ask me, they're just laying their guard down way too easy. Come and join us, Juliet. The water's great. Just how old do you think I am? It's been ages since I've splashed around like that. Oh, is that so? Because it looks to me like you're just embarrassed to wear a swimsuit in front of them. Oh, shut up and leave me alone. I'm not in the mood for sun damage. I'll just stay under the umbrella and enjoy the nice little nap myself. You're gonna take a nap? Even though someone might be trying to kill us? Don't worry, you'll be fine with me here. I'll keep the whole family safe. That's true. I guess we'll be alright with you here, Daddy. You were never much help, were you, Daddy? Harriet, just because it's true doesn't mean you have to say it. You're the father. Stand up for yourself. What are you doing? This is the one thing you shouldn't be doing as a parent when your kids run over you like this. Aren't you gonna go for a swim, Lori? I got you a bathing suit and everything. That's okay. It's more fun playing with Kane. Hey, Lori, I found some crabs over there. Crabs, be right there. Alright, just be careful. I'll be right here if you need me. Now that I think of it, did you ever ask Dorothy about her alibi? Dorothy, don't take this the wrong way. You see, we've been asking everyone this. What were you doing last night? Me, I put Lori to bed around 10 and fell asleep beside her shortly after, and we didn't wake up until morning. Ask Lori if you like, but I don't think she'll have much to say since she fell asleep before me. Got it, thank you. You're quite welcome. Dorothy's sure in a good mood, isn't she? Of course, She's the second wife. With Morris missing and Chris dead, Lori is all set to inherit the control of the Goldie family, which means her own position in the family is all but secure since she's Lori's mother. I see, that makes sense. She certainly looked like she was at a loss for words when Aaron revealed that Chris was his son. Wait, you're not saying Dorothy killed Chris, are you, Daddy? No, I'm not saying that. It just seems to be a good motive is all. I'm sorry, did I scare you? No, you just startled me for a bit. Is there something I can do for you, Dorothy? Have you seen Lori anywhere? I think she ran off when I wasn't looking. Come to think of it, I don't see Kane anywhere either. I wonder where they've gotten to. I hope they weren't fascinated with the crabs that got caught in the undertow. I'll help you look for them. I'm worried about Kane too. That'd be great, thank you, Juliet. I'll come along too. It'll be safer that way. It's okay, Daddy. We're not going out that far, and we can always call for help if something happens. You stay here and keep everyone else safe. Alright. I finally have you all to myself. Oh, don't worry about that. Nobody's watching. It's not like I'm going to cook you up and eat you. I've been wondering ever since you came along with us. What exactly are you to Juliet? Still singing that song, are you? There's no need to hide your true feelings now. Even if Morris doesn't show up, I'm pretty sure the engagement is off the table. Honestly, they're all so stubborn, especially Juliet. For all the fuss she made about saying that she would marry him because she's the eldest, I don't think she ever actually meant it. Still, that's what makes Juliet so special. She's earnest, responsive, and sensitive all at once. That's why I wanted to be happy. As long as she truly loves her partner, it doesn't matter what sort of family they're from, or what their gender is. I guess that only matters because I use a female avatar. But if you're interested, I'd be happy to entertain you myself. Just when things are heating up. Juliet always has impeccably bad timing. Alright, go on then. You should at least get there first and show her what you're made of, right? There's a dead body over there. Look close, I think it's... Did you guys scream? Did something happen? Where were you, Lori? You had me so worried. Did you find a big crab or something? Did you? Okay, that's far enough. Trust me, you don't want to get too close. Between the blonde hair and that outfit, I'd lay odds that's Morris's body. All kind of stuff drifts on the ocean currents from here. And from the look of it, he must have been floating out at sea for a while. I couldn't stop you ladies from getting a peek, but I'll be damned if I'm going to let anyone else see this. Look, I don't want to have to say this, but when fish come across a dead body, where do you think they start eating? I'll give you a hint. The parts that are the softest and easiest to bite off. I don't know, where? The eyes and lips. I didn't expect a third death. Well, at least not this early. I believe the cause of death was drowning. The body has also had some rather ugly bruises. No hand though, we don't get to see any sort of hand. My guess is that he was pushed from somewhere high up. There's a cliff on the northern edge of the island. If that's where he was pushed, it would explain where he washed up on the tide. Given the body's hair color, build, and other physical features, it was likely indeed Morris. But with so little of his face to confirm identity, I can't be certain. That means Morris could have gotten some other dead body and done it to make him look like himself. If so, we should still be on our guard. That's enough. Honey, Morris had no idea that we were coming here though. Besides, where could he have possibly gotten a look-alike corpse anyway? The last shred of hope I was clinging to is gone. My son, Morris Goldie, is dead. With Chris gone as well, the only one left to succeed me is Lori. Asuka, I talked it over with my wife. What do you say with an engagement between Lori and your Kane? An engagement? Are you serious? I was hoping you'd say that, Aaron. That sounds like an excellent idea to me. Slow down, Lori's still just a child. There's no way Kane can take over for the family. Don't be so old-fashioned. We wouldn't have them get married right at this instant. The important thing is that we promise to have them married in the future. You're the Violet family's eldest daughter. You should know as well as any of us what will happen if the alliance falls through. Not to mention if we bring back bad news Morris died. There will be rumors that the Violet family assassinated him, leading to an all-out war. This is the only option we have to avoid such a catastrophe. I guess, but what about the children? Don't they get a say in this? I don't mind marrying Kane. You say that now, but you're still so little. We can reconsider what to do about the engagement once Lori has come to age. I'm fine with that. I don't really get what's going on, but I'm fine with that. I'm glad to see you understand. If only you had a better head on your shoulders. Alright, we'll say that Morris died in an unfortunate accident. Please, don't let my son's death be in vain. Speaking only for myself, I don't want to see Chris's death be for nothing either. So as long as we agree to keep the truth a secret, I'm willing to go with this version of events. Then it's settled. Indeed, yesterday's bitter enemy is today's dependable friend. I'm glad to count you among mine. And as usual, excellent time. I was searching for a fresh bottle to uncork. Care to join me? You're completely smashed already? Aren't you ashamed of yourself? Do I seem drunk to you? I'm actually at a loss because I can't seem to get drunk. Oh, by the way, I haven't taken you to bed before, have I? You're just as gross as Morris was. My apologies. I've been with so many women it's impossible to keep track of them all. I must have confused with one of my myriad of one-night stands. I was born with a condition that made it difficult for me to have children, you see. That gave me an excuse to spread my seed quite a bit when I was still young. That is an amazing line. I'm surprised they even put it in this game. That is truly dialogue. If all you want to do is brag about your conquest, I'm leaving. Yeah, sorry about that. But I did settle down after Lori was born. I came to understand how reprehensible my behavior was. So even you feel bad about it. That certainly doesn't change what you did. Yes, you're right. Perhaps losing both Morris and Chris with such quick succession is the punishment I deserve. I didn't mean it that way. Thank you, Juliet. I no longer feel like drinking. I think I'll just go ahead and turn in for the night. He's the next one to die, huh? Hey, why don't we get some night air? It's so bright, it's almost dazzling. Oh, wow, a little shot. That's pretty cool. You know, I'm really glad you're here with me. It's not about that. That's just hindsight. I've been so anxious ever since this arranged marriage came up, but too scared to do anything about it. But having you here and seeing you get sad and angry on my behalf has made me feel so much better. Besides, you stayed with me after all my other friends left. That's meant so much to me. Even if I had ended up marrying Morris, I think I could have handled it, just knowing you were there for me. The engagement may be over now, but I'm still grateful to you for everything. Thank you. Can I tell you something else? Good. Seems you're still alive. So what happened this time? So you conked out just when you and Juliet were having a moment. Of course, it sounds like you and Eva were rather having a moment of your own before the circumstances intervened, huh? Romantic moments on the beach? Was that your way of getting ready for summer, senpai? By the way, why is it 10 million? I think it's 10 million download. Why is it 10 million download swimsuit stuff? I need to recheck the events. Are we literally going to have like summer event number 1? Is there going to literally be 3 summer events back to back to back? No, this was nothing like that. Remember, this is not your story. At any rate, it seems the latest developments played out how we expected. I concur. Although, a full moon, huh? Huh? Why is that interesting? I'm afraid it will have to wait. First, I need to ask you something. Did you notice or feel anything odd before you passed out? I see. It was most likely a sleeping pill or paralyzing agent, not a lethal poison. I believe we can rule out Julia as a suspect in the case. She would have no need to feign concern about you while you two were alone after all. Quite the opposite, in fact. That would be the time to show her true colors. I still don't understand why Senpai was targeted. Was it just a spur-of-the-moment decision? I expect it is a natural consequence of the investigation. The two families have finalized their alliance by betrothing their children, but having the killer's identity remain a mystery is sure to create tensions. In which case, the killer may mean to kill you and frame you for their own crimes. Professor, how could you even say that? That's horrible. Please don't be angry with me. It's merely an offering of possibility. I'm inclined to agree with the professor in this instance. If there's any consolation to be had, is that our culprit won't be attempting anything sufficiently violent that may be easily seen as foul play. They will need to falsify a note that would make the murder appear to be a suicide, or the whole endeavor will be quite pointless. For example, they could strangle you in your sleep, and then cover it up by making it seem like they hanged themselves, but an autopsy would spoil that bit of trickery. But then again, if the culprit were one performing the autopsy, then they can cover it up quite easily. Don't you agree, Professor? You do understand that Dr. Hawthorne and I are separate people, yes? Having said that, I hope you will not hold it against me if he does turn out to be the killer. Senpai? Well, it seems like they simply fall asleep without any premonitory signs whatsoever. You're awake now, thank goodness. I was just about to go get Dr. Hawthorne. I'm completely exhausted. You don't even know how I did it. I bet I'm going to be really sore tomorrow. I thought about leaving you on the beach and calling for help, but I couldn't leave you there at the mercy of wolves or the killer. I guess so. Then would you walk me to my room? I still have no idea what's really going on in this case. My apologies, but there's something I need to take care of immediately. Do hold the fort while I'm gone, will you? I feel I truly do not have time to explain right now. Feel free to direct any questions to the Professor. The full moon, eh? Quite so, Professor. Alright, tell me, Professor, what's Holmes talking about? I must admit that solving plots is not really my forte. I'm more in the business of creating them. But for you, young Mash, I suppose an exception can be made. Holmes and I are both working on the same information this time, so all I need to do in this case is to fit those pieces of the puzzle together. And we will naturally both arrive to the same conclusion, unless he were delirious with a fever or the like. Do you know where Holmes went, Professor? You both mentioned the full moon. He's not planning to go there, is he? No, Mash, don't be silly. Though I imagine Holmes might find the notion amusing. I'll explain the full moon in due time. Nobody's come out and said it, but it sounded to me like An might be Chris's mother. Yes, that is certainly likely. One could tell as much from her behavior. I imagine Aaron must have entrusted Chris to his mother after refusing to take him in himself. So then, An lost her son too. We have to solve this case quickly, before anyone else dies. Is there anything else, Professor? There's indeed Chris's dying message, though there may not be a point to bringing it up now. At any rate, if it was meant to point out the killer, we cannot assume that he would simply write the killer's name. A defining attribute of the killer would more than suffice. Personally, I believe he meant to write Mom. Mom? But how would that point the culprit? Because there's 3 mothers? It may not be a complete mess, but it's also only 3 letters, making it much easier to write than a full name. Mom, wait a minute. If Chris is talking about his own mom, does that mean An is out to kill Senpai right now? Well, good night. Excuse me, could I have a word with you? Don't worry, this will only take a moment. I apologize, there is a massive thunderstorm going on in the background, so maybe there was some residual sound in the background. I'm not sure. It just out of nowhere decided to rain on my recording. Like, it's a huge thunderstorm. But regardless, the plot thickens, but I still believe the red herring of the kid being like, oh, it's really great being a kid, no one suspects a kid. I still didn't like that. It's still hitting me. Like, it can still just play up later, like, oh, well, I did it. I guess I really wouldn't make a great detective, because you would have to think outside the box, like, oh, well, An is Chris's mother. It's not something I would have really thought about, to be honest. I would have just thought, well, she's been taking care of the guy for a long time, so she would of course care for him. It wouldn't come to me as, oh, well, it might be his mother. Because I don't remember the scenes between An and Aaron being really strong, besides him just being like, I entrusted Chris to the marble company. But he does say, I don't even remember the people I slept with. So it's very possible he could have slept with her. I guess that's what detectives have to do. They just have to, fictional detectives, maybe not real ones. I'm not sure. But you kind of have to think outside the box. Other than that, I'll see you guys tomorrow. There's going to be a battle tomorrow against a caster. So I'm going to assume it's a monster because no one in the mansion is a caster. At least I don't think so, right? Yeah, no one's a caster. So it's most likely a monster. See ya.